Hey guys, it is me, TrainLover1974 here, and if my voice sounds a bit different, I have a bit of a cold, so that's why. I like to explain some things in the videos of my version of Sodor Fallout. As you all know, I ended it off with part 2, but I wanted to explain to you guys why I made, the demise of Stepney. It was because of this comment in the first part asking why was Stepney the beast. Now, I basically did the 1411-1 experiment from Titmus Thunderbolt. And also, shout out to Percy and the Beast Productions, because that's where the audio comes from. And also the Titmus Thunderbolt, because also that's where the audio comes from, you know. Well, anyway, I wanted to show you guys some deleted photos that I was originally going to put in part 1 and 2 of Sodor Fallout, including some that were never going to make it. This scene here. This scene was meant to represent Edward escaping the blast in part 1. I just decided it just didn't really add that much to the story, to be honest. It just showed Edward running away. So what? You can see that when he passes Derek. Don't mind this. This scene was meant to show Derek passing by Edward. And then we're gonna skip ahead a bit. Sorry about that. We're just looking, because I mostly deleted these pictures after filming, because I just didn't find it. Here we go. In this section, where the ironworks attack, there was originally meant to be a scene here, this one I never finished, was that showing that Diesel was lying dead on the ground with Stepney killing him, and the engines witnessing it. I never got to finishing it, because not for the life of me, I could get the, right engine here, because it was just too dark, I couldn't get the engine. So I decided just to skip this picture. And then this scene was meant to show the Beast attacking Ben. I also wanted to add in about why I have Ben at the Ironworks, and also how did he end up there. Well, basically Ben was delivering some China clay to Kildane because Boko wasn't available then, and Derek was pulling a goods train. So the China Clay manager asked Ben to take the train, while Bill stayed at the China Clay Works. And this scene was meant to show him about to be killed, but I decided it just didn't really add that much, because obviously you saw it in this picture here. You could obviously see that he was doomed by the star. So I just decided this just didn't really add that much, so I got rid of it. Sorry about this. I have to do this a lot, because the picture is a bit far apart. I'm just gonna keep scrolling. And this was the ironworks scene, you all know. And guys, I wanted to add also, originally, Boko finding at the heart at Brendan was originally meant to be in part 1, but I wanted to stay on a bit of a time track. So I decided to get rid of these pictures. Even though I had finished them, this was meant to be where Boko found Bill. I never added the part where he got shot. I never added that part. And this was the part where Derek blew up. You know, that made in part 2. And then originally, Boko was meant to have found Flora. Flora here. As you see, there were multiple faults with this. I originally tried to change it, but not for the life of me I can get this picture right. So I decided to cancel this part out of Flora. Because, you know, I didn't add, the red bound in it. And you're wondering, what model did I use? Well, I just used a Tangalon Toby, because I don't own a Tangalon Flora. Then, Boko was originally meant to find Thomas, unlike how Edward found Thomas. And these scenes were meant to be Thomas, seeing Flora commit suicide. And this was Thomas and Boko rushing down the line. And originally, in part 1, I was originally going to have Thomas and Boko find Donald and Douglas. But I just decided to save that for later. Then, this scene, I had to switch areas, because I was filming some of the parts in my living room, and I had to switch up to my bedroom because my dad wanted to watch TV, and I couldn't have the interference. So yeah, these were meant to be the same scenes, all that. Now, thankfully, I was able to get to these scenes done. And, these were I had to fix them up a bit here and there. Including I added this little thing. This is meant to show like from the smoke box inside her saying end it. Like how like in the original Sodor Fallout, Toby ended it. And then this scene. This scene was the hardest scene I would say I had to film. Like, get edited. Because I had to get everything right. Then this was the scene. Well, here's the scene where Boko and Thomas find where they see Flora. Then this is the scene where they find Edward. Then, originally I was going to have them find Donald and Douglas, or Donald and Douglas find them, but I wanted to save that. That was them puffing away. Then this scene was meant to be where they return to base, or like camp. And originally, guys, Daisy and Mavis were going to appear in the first part, but I just decided to save that. And also, this was the scene there, all that. And then you all know how it ended. That was the end of... Oh yeah, this is a funny story. The ending scene in part 1, when you see the engines, like, looking at the camera and all that, I could not for the life of me do this. I had to get my brother to help me by holding Stepney up in the air, because it's hard holding the tablet to take the picture, including holding Stepney in the air. I could not for the life of me do it. And plus also, I had filmed this on my bed, if you all didn't know. It was that the engines would keep tipping over and all that, and I tried so many attempts. Like, look, there were multiple faults, especially since you couldn't see Duck. I tried getting all their faces in. Then this scene. Then finally, I got this. And that became the picture for Sodor Fallout. Now for part 2. Originally, guys, I was going to do a scene where you would see D261 dead. But for some reason, the picture didn't develop, so that's why you didn't see it. Plus, also, I did find it a bit disturbing a bit, so I just decided to cancel it. These pictures were meant to be of Spencer, when Henry and Gordon see Spencer rush by and then crash. But I just didn't like the angles of the pictures. Then here was Daisy and Mavis. Then there came these pictures. These were the angles I wanted them to be at. Then I finally got this shot right. All that. There was the Brendan thing. This is the same picture, but instead I just added the figure and the bullet hole in him, including Boko shocked. Because I originally wanted to do another picture of Bill getting shot, but I just couldn't do it. So, yeah, this is what you're going to get. Then this is the scene where Derek blows up. Then this scene was where Boko finds him. You all know that. Originally, I wanted to add, like, a bit of writing in it. It was because I wanted to, like, symbolize what this scene was meant to be. It's because I didn't want people getting confused. Like, this is Edward and Douglas coming up with a battle plan to kill the beast. Like, you see the writing. But I canceled it because I just figured... Because it just didn't seem right, because all the last part, including the others, didn't have words, so I decided just to get rid of it. This scene was meant to be the one where Sir Tom had holding the gun. This scene was the bridge. And all that. We're just gonna skip this, because you already all know this parts. Sorry. Oh yeah. This scene I wanted to add, but I couldn't. It was meant to be after the viaduct, after Stepney crashed into the viaduct and blew up. It was meant to show the scene where he falls and then blows up. But for some reason it would not develop for the life of me. I could not do it. So I had to cancel that part. And all that. Now this is where I added writing, so that way you guys could get a reference about what's going on. Here, let me show you. Yeah. And then all that. I'm also just getting bored at this point. I just made this video for you guys so that way you can see like the behind the scenes and all that. Oh yeah, I want to... Originally in part 2, I was originally going to do... I wanted to do this basically from that short film made by Rolling Duck, I believe. He made the small Sodor Fallout film. No, not the one of the Sodor Fallout fan movie. Yeah, I didn't really like the ending. If you want to, just go look up Sodor Fallout, you should find it. Originally, this was meant to be the scene where you would see how what happened to the engines after the Fallout ended. Like, here was the original writing, like, and then he was sent to Doncaster and was given a proper send-off. Yeah. Then here was meant to be the scene with Diesel, Bill, Diesel 10, Derek, Diesel 6-1, Stepney. Then I originally got to this. Originally, there was originally going to be a part 3, and I did release it, but nobody really liked it, so I decided to cancel it, and then I just made part 2 the final. Plus, also, there were a lot of errors in it. Well, let's just look. Yep. We're just gonna keep going real quick until I find some scenes I wanted to. Then this was originally going to be like a little thing, like to say thank you to these people for inspiring me to do the Sodor Fallout, my version of Sodor Fallout. Because I never really wanted to do Sodor Fallout, I was going to cancel it, but then, thanks to these people, like, they gave me the inspiration to do it. Like, they didn't tell me to do it, like, encouraged me. I basically got inspiration from them from their Sodor Fallout videos, like, thank you to Percy and the Beast Productions, TNF Stories, and Team Zug. Yeah, and I know, I misspelled inspired. Yeah, don't quote me on that. Then this was meant to be the end scene, like Edward and Thomas puffing down the line like you saw in the end of part 2. Then this was meant to be like saying the thank you to Tim Thunderbolt for creating Sodor Fallout. Like say, the original creator of Sodor Fallout, Tim Thunderbolt. Saying thank you for creating Sodor Fallout. Because I do enjoy it, I just never thought I'd make videos of it. Then this, in the Percy, with the demise of Stepney, the 1411- experiment, originally this was meant to show what happened to Stepney, like how did he get captured. Like there's the Aryan Burt. This is the Aryan Burt scene. Then this is the crash scene. Sorry, this takes a bit to come on. Okay, we're gonna have to skip that. Alright, then there was all that. There's the truck scene. This scene was meant to show the face falling off, but I just didn't want to add this. And then there. Yeah, I'm honestly just getting bored right now, guys. I just wanted to show you guys like some of the behind the scenes stuff. Then in there, you were meant to see like Ben's death. Like after the beast attacks, then you would see this scene with Diesel and Ben's death. Like there's the Ben over there, and then there's Diesel. But I realized I may have followed this because I forgot to put like the hole on top of him, just like how Ben has it. Yeah. This scene was meant to represent the rickety scene you would see in the ending, including this scene here. Like, yeah, that's my hand right there, and that's the back there. This was meant to be the scene where you would see Stepney on his legs, and then see like him roaring or something. But then it came to this. And then there. Oh yeah, and this, I was originally going, a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to do this, like basically a little showing about what happened to the narrow gauge engines, but I just found it a bit difficult. This was meant, Ivo Hugh was meant to take Skarloey's place of mutating, and then he would get shot. Yeah. Then Smudger was meant to die, then there was Duke, and then there's Duncan in them. Then this scene was inspired by the guy who made the Sodor Fallout fan movie. In his trailer, I noticed how Duncan was meant to fall off the bridge by the beast, so I thought, why don't I do this, but instead with Bertram? This picture was meant to show him falling, but I just found too difficult to film. Then here was Rusty. And that was it. Originally, I was going to make my own series of Sodor Fallout, but I just never got around to do it because I just found it too hard to get all the just found it hard to find audio for it. I was originally going to voice all of it, but Yeah, and then this was meant to be the trailer. Like you see, my version of Sodor Fallout coming soon. Original creator of Sodor Fallout, Timothy Thunderbolt. My version of Sodor Fallout made by Train Lover 1974. Yeah, that's it. Those were all the deleted scenes and canceled stuff I was going to do. Thank you all so much for 121 subscribers, and see you all in the next video. I am sorry also that I missed on Friday. I just didn't have that much motivation to do a video on Friday. Plus, also, it was the first week of school. What do you suspect? Alright, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.